Warning, this video contains spoilers for the film 1917. Viewer discretion is advised. These sounds seem familiar to us, don't they? World War I tends to leave an impression on our minds. The notion of artillery barrages, of cannon fire and gunshots, screaming men in agony. It's become a cinematic shortcut to utilize these sounds to engage the audience with the suffering of our soldiers, to put us in their headspace. But Sam Mendes doesn't do that. Instead, he pushes us into a new mindset. Instead of the normalized sounds we've come to expect from war films, our opening shots into no man's land is instead this. Quiet. I personally felt the most tense after coming out of this scene. We're expecting so much to go wrong immediately. Every step they take is a step towards disaster. I imagine at any moment there would be some sort of artillery barrage, some sniper fire, machine gun fire, but yet it never comes. That's because Mendes doesn't do the normal thing, even as we near to the German trenches. It becomes our sanctuary. Suddenly, we think we're in a safe space. By omitting traditional military audio, we've become complacent in our environment now. Complacent with the silence. And this silence builds and builds. The tension we expect for something to go wrong. It mounts until we get to our destination. And then it dissipates. Now we've become complacent with the silence. Until Mendes decides to punish us for our complacency.
Oh no!
All the quietness is removed, and instead leads to a cacophony of sound, a rush of violence. We can no longer trust the silence to lead us into a peaceful environment. Now we know the emission of silence is actually leading to disaster. And now, because of repeated sequences involving the dogfight sequence, the same can be also said of the sniper battle. How the gradual, slow pace build towards a seemingly safe environment can actually give way to incredibly loud violence. Mendes doesn't just stick to that routine. He twists around slightly. So what is questioned again is when a series of violent actions are broken up by peaceful moments. After a tense exchange of bullets, Will descends into hiding. The last thing he needs is for his position to be given away. So, stumbling across a young woman hiding away from the German forces, the last thing he expects is a baby's cry. This parley is equally as tense. Danger lies at the end of it. Will a baby's cry lead to the German forces descending on their position? We don't know. That's where the genius of this sequence comes in. Instead, the open communication breaking the silence actually leads to a moment of relief. It actually shows a different side to the soldiery, to the war, saving lives. And the same can be felt in the wayfaring sailor scene. I notice the tension is gradually removed when sound is introduced again. Now, silence moves towards comfort and relief. And this only serves to confuse the audience, discombobulate them. Where could the next possible sequence of violence lead? Next possible sequence of silence lead? And these reprieves are broken by marches to war, escape, all in an effort to complete his mission. And the nearer we draw to Colonel Mackenzie, the more this weighs on our mind. Up until this point, we've been built up that violence is followed by silence leads to more violence. It's It's a vicious cycle, but also we've been led to believe there can be occasional bouts of relief, moments where Will can relax, where he doesn't have to worry for his well-being. But this moment comes with the warnings of Captain Smith, who tells Will,
make sure there are witnesses. But some men just want the fight.
And thus comes the greatest moment of tension since No Man's Land. What will Colonel Mackenzie decide? Will the silence be followed by greater degrees of violence? Or relief?
Continuez.
Major,
Yes, sir.
stand them down.
Relief. In our final moments, tension that ratchets up from Colonel Mackenzie's slow reading dissipates. Of course, the following sequence of silence is equally as tense as we come to consider, is Lieutenant Blake among the dead?
Right, come on, boys.
And again, the silence is broken by hopeful communication. The lieutenant is still alive. But then this complicates the cycle, doesn't it? 2 moments of relief have followed intense moments of silence. So when Will goes to relax by his tree, returning to the same position he was when this whole mess started, is it possible that the cycle will restart again? Even with our relief of seeing older brother alive.
Thank you, Will.
With the relief that all these soldiers' lives have been saved. Is Will going to return to the grind of destruction, of pain? Or will the silence give way to relief?
Blake.
Sorry, Sarge.
Pick a man. Bring your kit.
What do you think? Hey guys, I'm trying out a new format of video essays, and I want to see what you guys think. Comment below if you think this could be a good potential future for the channel, and if you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I have a few ideas about this in the future, and if this seems like a valuable use of my time, just sound off and leave a like, and possibly you can even subscribe to the channel. This is That Indie Reviewer, signing out. Auf Wiedersehen.